Some of the most popular salt in the hobby comes in these slick purple bags, but what makes Aquaforced salt a great option? And which of their 3 salt mixes best matches your reefing mantra? Let's find out. Aquaforest manufactures their marine salt mixes at their own lab in Europe and puts them all through ICP OES testing to make sure they meet the highest quality standards with precise values for each batch that you can actually check the results of yourself online so you know exactly what your exact bag of salt mix is going to produce. Each type of salt is designed for specific reefers in mind with major, minor, and trace elements balanced for your style of reefing. Aquaforest salt mixes are available in a wide range of sizes and packaging options, from a 35-gallon mix in a 5-kilogram bucket all the way up to 25-kilogram 200-gallon mix options in a single box, multiple boxes, or bags. So whether you're nano reefing or have a mid-sized tank or a huge system or just multiple tanks, you can pick up the perfect amount of salt in the format that works best for you. Each salt mix has mixing ratios and instructions right on the packaging with recommended salinities depending on what type of reef you have, along with the values of alkalinity, calcium, magnesium, and potassium that you'll achieve with each salinity. Aquaforest sea and reef salts mix up easily and dissolve fully within 15 minutes. Aquaforest does recommend that you let the saltwater continue to mix while being heated up to temperature for 2 to 3 hours prior to use to allow the elements to reach ionic stability. Once mixed, they can be stored for up to 5 days in an open container, or if properly stored in a sealed container, their salt mixes will stay stable for weeks on end. However, their probiotic reef salt is a bit different because it has dormant bacteria that will become live bacteria very quickly once they've been hydrated. So once you've given that salt mix 15 minutes to fully dissolve, you'll want to use it immediately as those bacteria will already begin looking for food. Now, as promised, let's break down each one of these 3 salt mixes so we can determine which of the 3 is going to be right for you. Starting with the mix that most reefers will likely prefer, Aquaforest Reef Salt is their flagship salt mix formulated for all types of corals, including the most demanding SPS, along with sensitive invertebrates like tridacnid clams and of course fish, by keeping parameters as close to natural seawater on wild reefs as possible. With a focus on major, minor, and trace elements while also being enriched with aminos and vitamin C, this salt is focused on coral growth, coloration, and immune health. When mixed to 1.026 specific gravity or 35 parts per thousand, you're going to achieve an alkalinity between 7.7 to 8.3, a calcium level between 440 to 460, a magnesium level between 1360 to 1420, and a potassium level between 380 to 400, which is going to work really well for SPS dominated and mixed reefs, as well as LPS and softies. Also, if you're the kind of person who likes to mix up large batches to store for later use, this salt will work very well. Aquaforest Sea Salt Mix is their fish-only dedicated salt. Unlike their reef salt, it isn't as fortified with minor and trace elements, and it does not contain aminos or vitamin C, but it does contain the necessary major elements well within usable ranges for low-demand saltwater aquariums like fish-only tanks, with an alkalinity between 8.3 to 8.9, calcium between 380 to 400, magnesium between 1260 to 1300, and potassium between 380 to 400 when mixed to 35 ppt. Definitely a great option for fish only, but not ideal for LPS, SPS, or mixed reefs. Last but not least, their probiotic reef salt. This mix is in essence their reef salt mix while also including probiotics along with the necessary vitamins and amino acids. It is really focused on those who want to run an ultra low nutrient SPS dominated system by using live bacteria and essentially carbon dosing to keep nutrients like nitrates and phosphate low. It's also great for those who like to do smaller 10% water changes weekly, bi-weekly, or even monthly. It is really important not to do large water changes with this mix as it can drop nutrients quite rapidly. So if you do prefer larger water changes, you can do a 50-50 mix using probiotic along with regular reef salt. And just to reiterate, this salt mix cannot be stored and should be used after 15 minutes of mixing to make sure those bacteria have access to the nutrients in your tank. That's not just the only mistake people can make when mixing up their salt water. There's a lot more mistakes than that, and you can check out all of them so that you can actually avoid them and save yourself a lot of hassle by clicking right here.